I still remember the text that set everything in motion. A simple message from an old college friend inviting me to a private gathering. She called a hidden party, a small reunion for just a few close friends. I hesitated. My husband, Daniel, wasn't the jealous type, but I knew he liked to know where I was. Still, the thought of a break from our quiet suburban routine was tempting. When I told Daniel, I kept it vague. Just catching up a few old friends, I said. He smiled and replied, "Go have fun. You deserve it." At the time, I didn't know how sharply those words would echo in my mind later that night. The venue was nothing like I expected. It wasn't a house nor a restaurant. It was an elegant hall tucked behind a downtown art studio. Soft lighting, mellow music, and a crowd made up mostly of men greeted me. For a moment, I froze, feeling out of place. My friend greeted me with a warm hug, brushing off my hesitation with a laugh. "Relax. It's just a networking thing," she said. But something about the atmosphere felt off. These men weren't just socializing, they were watching. Conversations paused when I entered. Laughter sounded forced. I hovered near the edges, nursing a drink, debating whether to leave, but curiosity kept me there. As the evening unfolded, I made small talk with a few people while texting Daniel updates to keep everything looking normal. I told him I'd be home late. He sent a heart emoji. For a while, I almost convinced myself this night would fade quietly into memory. But fate had other plans. Around 9, a man approached me. He looked familiar, too familiar. My heart skipped a beat. One of Daniel's co-workers was standing in front of me. His presence didn't make sense. He smiled, leaned in, and murmured, "Didn't expect to see you here, Emily." My stomach sank. He told me Daniel was on his way. Panic surged. Apparently, someone had sent Daniel photos of the party. Me among a crowd of men, close to laughter that could easily be misread. I scrambled for my phone. Dozens of missed calls. When Daniel arrived, the room fell silent. He didn't shout. He wasn't visibly angry. He just looked broken. He walked toward me slowly, eyes scanning the scene. I tried to explain, to tell him I hadn't known what this event really was, that I'd been misled. But in that moment, words felt useless. He handed me his phone. On the screen was an anonymous message. "Your wife's having fun tonight. You should see it for yourself." Attached were pictures of me. Nothing inappropriate, but enough to twist any husband's trust. I could see the hurt behind his composed expression. I begged him to believe me, but once trust cracks, it doesn't mend easily. "You should have told me the truth from the start," he said quietly, then turned and walked away. I chased after him, but he was gone before I reached the door. The sound of his car driving off rang louder than any argument could have. That night, I sat alone in the parking lot, replaying every moment. Why hadn't I been honest? Why hadn't I seen the trap sooner? The hidden party wasn't just a social event. It had been set up by a group using charm and secrecy to lure business contacts. I had walked straight into their game. The next morning, I returned home to find Daniel packing a small bag. "I need space," he said. His voice was calm, but the distance in it was palpable. I don't know what to believe anymore. I couldn't blame him. Weeks passed before he finally agreed to meet and talk. I showed him messages, photos, and proof that the event had been misrepresented to multiple people, not just me. It didn't fix everything immediately, but it softened something in his eyes. For the first time in weeks, he believed I hadn't betrayed him intentionally. Our marriage didn't end that night, but it changed. We learned just how fragile trust is, and how one careless choice can unravel years of peace. Sometimes I still think about that hidden party. It taught me that secrecy, even in small doses, has the power to destroy far more than truth ever could.